Good afternoon, everyone. I'm gonna wait for a few minutes. I'm a few minutes early, but I wanted to ensure that I was able to get on and that everybody can see me and that everything was working perfectly before I started. So just give me a few minutes, please. And I am gathering my notes. I am so honored to be here, and I'm so excited to share with everyone. I am so excited to share with everyone. One of the things, and this is just, I haven't introduced who I am because I'm waiting. I'm waiting to the top of the hour, so I'm just talking, okay? I'm just talking right now. But one of the things that I used to love to do, I loved about being a soldier is mentoring. One of the things I loved about being a senior NCO was mentoring soldiers. I loved being a leader of soldiers. I loved just mentoring and guiding the younger generation and just letting them know, because of course they can make their own decisions. I encourage you to make your own decisions, but perhaps something that I say may help you from making the mistakes that I made along the way. Just I always tell people that I'll tell you what I went through, so everything that I'm saying is from my personal experience. And if it's for you, put it in your toolbox. Put it in your toolbox to use later. If not, then it's not. Let it go. Or maybe it'll help someone else along the way. So what time is it? 1 minute, y'all. 1 minute. Crystal is amazing too. I met Crystal when I was still active duty. Dr. Sonia introduced us. I was actually going through sorority and I needed to do some community service. I did. I was still active duty and she was just so sweet. She was just such a sweetheart. She just embraced me. So I'll talk about that when it's time. But she's such a sweetheart and she does amazing things. Amazing things. Is it time yet, y'all? Is it time? No, it's not time. So let me get up here so I can answer any questions that you have. Because I know if it was me, I'd have questions. So I'm looking forward to answering any questions that you might have. And it is the top of the hour. And it's the top of the hour. I will introduce myself. My name is Tangie C. Smith. I am originally from North Carolina. And so I like to say that I am a Southern Belle. I'm a Southern Belle in the sense of every word. I retired from the United States Army after 20 years and 10 months on May of 2017. May of 2017. And by April of 2018, I was already past my preliminaries for the Montgomery County Commissioner, District 8. So things went kind of fast. It wasn't expected. It wasn't expected at all. In between that time, in October, so let me back up a little bit. In October, I founded an organization with a couple of other women, Women Elevated, and it was from a need that I went through when I was in the Army. It was something that I went through. It was something that, in all of my life experiences, because that's what I do, and that's what I encourage everyone to do. You see something that's wrong, right, or something that needs to happen, and instead of complaining about it, you fix it, or you fix that. You feel that need. So that's what we did with Women Elevated. And what we did was we realized that there were women like myself that were getting out of the military, that had been in the military since they were like 17 or 18 years old. And now what? Like for me, nobody ever taught me how to budget. My budget was I paid all my bills on the 1st of the month, and on the 15th of the month, I I did whatever. I saved. I did. They never taught me how to do these things. And so we realized that this is something that's needed. And sometimes women get out, and men as well, but right now we're focusing on women. They get out and they're really not sure what it is that they want, to do. They're just not sure. Or sometimes they just don't have it together. And nobody sees that, because they'll say, well, you did all of this time in the military and you were this rank and you did that and you did this. What's going on? And why can't you get it together? So that's why we are here. We're that non-judgmental women, that we just kind of help each other out. And right now, currently, we have the only transition home for women veterans in Middle Tennessee. So I did take notes for you ladies, because I didn't really want to. When I first talked to Crystal and she was telling me, like, what do you want to talk about? I wanted to really talk about staying humble, staying true to yourself, and just trusting the process that God has for you. Okay? Not what everybody else wants you to do, not what everybody else is doing. I read a quote last night, and it really applied to my life. And it says, I watch what everyone else is doing, and then I do the opposite. I watch what everyone else is doing, and then I do the opposite. I do, because if everybody else is doing it, then it doesn't need to be done. They're already doing it, right? So I didn't want to talk about women elevated too much. I didn't want to talk about that. I wanted to talk about encouraging you and what to do when you're the only one doing what you're doing. When nobody else believes in you, when nobody else thinks that you can do it. Because let me tell you something. When I retired from the Army and I was initially asked to run for county commissioner, I didn't even believe in myself, okay? I didn't think I could do it, right? I didn't. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, listen, all I know is the military. I don't know anything about politics. Y'all trying to set me up. That's what I thought. You're trying to set me up. And they kept asking, and I really got upset, because I really thought, why are you asking me to do this? I don't know what I'm doing. And they said, we'll teach you, all right? It was two ladies from the Montgomery County Democratic Party, and they said that we will teach you, right? And I said, okay. So I asked some of my other friends, and I know they meant well, and I know they wanted the best for me, but they was like, I wouldn't do it if I was you. I wouldn't do it if I was you. They gonna have you looking stupid. I would not do it. And I thought, gosh, you're right. But then I thought, trust in the process. Why did God bring me this opportunity? Why did he put this opportunity in my lap? Because I wasn't looking for it. Why did he put this opportunity in my lap if it wasn't for me? Why did he bring it to me if it wasn't for me? It's nothing that I went out to look for. It's nothing that I sought after. So I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a try. Because so many people told me no. The people that I knew and I loved, that I trusted, they told me, no, don't do this. But it was strangers. See, that's the thing. God will put people in your place. Oh, my God. I'm not going to preach today. But that's the thing. It was strangers. And I was like, these people don't even know me, but they believe in me. They think I can do it. Okay. They think I can do it. Maybe they see something in me that I don't see. Okay, I'll do it. And of course, they didn't do everything for me. They just kind of told me what to do. They told me what to do. And I went on and I did it, on my own. And I many times, as I knocked on doors, people that live in my neighborhood, and they're probably watching, or they're gonna watch this live, and they can verify that when I knocked on their doors, it was me knocking. There was no one knocking in my place, okay? There was no one knocking on my behalf. That was me, and it was me by myself. And most of the time I had on sweatsuits, and they would say, well, what are you gonna do? And I was like, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to do? I'm a fresh set of eyes, right? I'm a fresh set of eyes. I don't know anyone. So I'm going to look at it, everything for what it is. And I remember one night walking down the street, and I thought, Lord, what am I doing? What am I doing? And why am I doing this? Like, what am I doing and why am I doing this? Like, this is silly. I don't know what I'm doing. And, I just heard a voice that said, just keep doing it. Because I had told myself that I would knock on doors till 10 o'clock, 10 p.m., that I would knock until 10 p.m. And so I said, well, okay, I'll knock. And not everybody was nice. So it's always funny to me, because I'm a very sensitive person, when people say, you need to have tough skin. You need to have tough skin. Baby, when people slamming doors in your face and cussing you out and telling you not to solicit when you're trying to get some signatures, if that ain't tough skin, I don't know what is tough skin, okay? If that's not tough, I don't know what is tough. Because my feelings was hurt, right? So trust in the process. Trust in the process. And people look at me now and it's like, oh, Tangie, you're so confident. You're this and that. And again, everything I'm saying can be verified because I'm an open book, and there are people that follow me that I went to grade school with, and all of them could tell you that I was not always this person. I was very timid, always been sensitive, but I was always very, very, very timid in my early years. And I watched, I learned, I prayed. And then as I started growing up, and I say growing up through the Army, I excelled at what I was doing. And as I excelled at what I was doing, I think I got a little bit arrogant. That's what that stay humbling is, right? I got a little bit arrogant. You couldn't tell me I wasn't the tick, tick, boom. Because everything that I did, I excelled at, And I grew up Pentecostal holiness. And so I knew it was nothing but God. And I always knew that. But a little bit along the way, I forgot to keep mentioning it, okay? I forgot to continuously tell people that this is God. And I remember I was in Kosovo. And this prophetess, she was in the military too, and she would come up to me, and every time she would come up to me, I would be like, oh, Lord, here she come again. Because she would tell me, you have the gift. You have an influential spirit. That's what she told me. You have an influential spirit. And you know that you're not using it for the right thing. And I was like, man, if this woman don't leave me alone, like it's hot, I just want to do what I want to do. And I never forget. I never, ever forgot that. I never forgot that. And it's like everywhere I went, God constantly reminded me. And there are sometimes I got reminded in not such a good way. It's kind of like a kid. You want to stay humble because you don't want God to humble you. Okay? You don't want God to humble you. God has humbled me at times that it was in a low place. And guess what? I knew what it was. I knew why I was going through what I was going through. Nobody had to tell me why I was going through it. I knew what I was going through because I knew what I did. And I knew what I didn't do. And at this point where I'm at right now, I'm glad that I went through it earlier in life. I'm glad I went through it earlier in life because I'm telling you right now, if I was going through it right now, it would probably destroy me. So that's what I mean by staying humble and trusting the process. The process was I went through it. I went through that period of that, I think I can do everything by myself, or I'm arrogant, or I never said I didn't need God, but my actions showed it. Okay. I didn't have to physically say it, verbally say it for my actions to show that. And God had to put me all the way down, like low, 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 low. I went so low. And because I went through that then, he put me through that then so I didn't have to go through it now. So now that I'm where I'm at right now in life, I know, Tangie, you got to keep your head on right, okay? And you got to stay humble. And no matter what happens, you just have to keep trusting that process. You got to trust in that process. You have to stay centered, you know, and sometimes it's hard. I tell people all the time, because I'm a Libra, I like to say, don't tilt my Libra scales. You know, you don't want to move too far to the right. You don't want to move too far to the left. You kind of want to stay centered. And it's a balancing act. It's a balancing act. And that staying centered is also staying true to yourself. It is staying true to you. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you got to live with you. At the end of the day, if when I'm no longer, you know, a county commissioner, when I'm no longer the president of Women Elevate, I'll always be the founder, but one day there may be someone else the president, then who am I? Who am I? And that's the same thing I went through when I retired. I bet for only a couple of months, but it was a couple of months. It was about 2 months of like, what am I going to do now? Who am I? Who am I? And that's where you have to, and that's why you have to stay humble, because that arrogance ain't going to get you nowhere when you've lost your identity. Because see, that was my identity. That was who I was. I was Star First Class Smith. That's who I was. I knew who I was. And then it was like, now who are you? Now who are you? So even after this, who are you? Who are you? Trust that process. Like I said, I took notes. You have to trust the process. And know that you're doing the right thing. And stick with that. Even when you're doing it alone. Even when your friends, right, are no longer with you, you have to do it alone. Because I've always said that if God gives you a vision, he's going to give you provision. I've said that for about at least 2 decades. That if God gives you a vision, he's definitely going to give you, a provision. So there are people that started with me, that they're no longer with me. But you know what? I didn't miss a beat. Because before they could turn in their resignation letter or whatever, it was already somebody else to take their place. It was already 1 or 2 people there to take their place that I didn't even know who they were. And they came in with a wealth of knowledge. They came in adding so much value. So I always say that if he gives you that vision, he's going to give you that provision. Just keep being true to what you want to do. There are so many people that, even with me now, Tandra, why don't you do this? Or you know that you can get a grant if you did this, and you could get a grant if you did that. Well, I'm looking at the grant and I'm like, well, that means I have to change my bylaws. That means I have to change what my vision and my mission is. I'm not changing my vision and my mission. You know, I'm not. And I'm just not. And some people would say that, I don't know. That's not arrogance, though. Staying true to what you need to stay true to, because people will knock you off your square, right? They'll knock you off your square, then they'll talk about you while you're down. That's why it's so important to stay humble and stay connected to the Creator. Stay connected to God, right? It's very, very important to do that. And you're not always going to be somebody's cup of tea. You know, everybody's not going to always be your best friend. Everybody is not going to always appreciate you and what you bring to the table. Everybody's not always going to like you. It's okay. You're not going to be their cup of tea. It's okay. You know, I had one of the craziest things that happened to me is I had someone that I was stationed with in Germany. And I saw her maybe 15 years later. Matter of fact, I was in a mall at South Carolina, in Columbia, South Carolina. And she heard me talking. And she said, is that Smith? Is that Smith? And I looked and I was like, oh my God. So when she heard me talking, she said, you know what, girl? You ain't changed a bit. Like, you haven't changed a bit. And that was the biggest compliment ever. Okay? That was because I was still that same person. And I'm not saying that you can't change for the better, because some people need to change, but don't change your persona. Don't change who you are at your core. Don't change who you are at your core to please people who you don't even know and who don't even care about you. These people don't care about you. Don't change who you are, because I can't reiterate enough that you're all you have. You're all you have at the end of the day. And you have to live with you. You have to live with you. You gotta take it. You gotta do that. You gotta take that time for you. So I'll just say, stay true, and trust the process. Trust the process. And that one of the things too that keep me humble is my family, man. My family and my day one friends. Now they may not be doing everything that I'm doing, right? They may not be doing what I'm doing, but they keep me grounded. They keep me grounded. I'm trying to see how I can share this on my page. Crystal, I want to share it on my page. Can you share it on my page, please? But they keep me grounded. And sometimes you got to take that time for you. And I know I hear a lot of ladies say, well, I got kids and I don't do anything for myself because I do everything for my kids, and that you got to take that time for yourself. Okay, it's important to take care of your kids, but you got to take that time for yourself. Even if you take 10 minutes to take a hot bubble bath, with a glass of wine after they're asleep, you got to take that time for yourself. If you and your good girlfriends go out and have dinner together, you got to take that time for yourself. You got to take that time for yourself. You got to take that time and do something that you want to do and that pleases you, that makes you happy. And you have to, because you're gonna look back and you're gonna wonder where the time is at. Or you're gonna look back and those kids are gonna be grown and they're gonna be gone away from your house, and you're not gonna know who you are. I see so many middle-aged women that deal with depression and deal with stuff like that because they don't know who they are. They don't know who they are outside of their family. And family is great, I'm not telling you not to have a family. I've been married how many years? I'm going to say 23, okay? It might be 23, 22, 24. It was one of them years. It's a long time, 1996, okay? In 1996. And so I'm not saying don't do family, but I'm just saying you got to do, you have to take care of you. And I think that's one of the things that's made my family stronger, is because it's exciting. I'm always doing something too. So I get to do something with my family, but I'm always doing something as well. So it's kind of like I'm not pulling on one person and they're not just pulling on me all the time. We're like, okay, well, because I see people all the time. And it's like, well, if your husband's not doing it, then you're not doing it. And the kid's not doing it, you're not doing it. And then when they're gone, you're like, well, what do I do now? So just that I wanted to give back. I wanted to let y'all know that. I wanted to let y'all know, just staying grounded and trusting and believing that what God has for you is for you, right? If I had to listen, oh my God. If I had to listen to other people, I would not be where I'm at. And it's not to say that I don't need a mentor or there hasn't been people that gave me great ideals. But let me tell you something. Each one of us, God has given discernment to. Okay? And if you can't tap into it, then I suggest you start praying for it. So instead of praying for money and praying for bigger houses and bigger cars and all of that and a successful job, and start praying for the spirit of discernment, because that spirit of discernment will get you where you need to be. It'll get you more money. It'll get you a bigger house. It'll get you a better job, because you'll know this is what I need to be doing. You'll know what's for you, and what's not for you. Because I had some very influential people tell me not to do what I wanted to do. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna share this with y'all. He probably be mad that I told y'all this, but I'm gonna tell y'all this right here, because we good girlfriends, right? Even when I was running, when I said I was gonna run for county commissioner, even my husband said, nah, no. And it wasn't that he didn't think I could do it, right? He was just like, he wanted to protect me. So I'm going to say not everybody who didn't think that I should do some of the things that I did. I'm not saying that everybody was a hater. Okay? I'm not saying that they were a hater. I'm not saying that my mother was a hater. I'm not saying that my husband was a hater. I'm saying that they were more like, listen, I don't want you to be hurt. You're doing great. You're doing a great thing right here. You got this going on. No need to do X, Y, Z. Okay? But because I did that, right? And I always said, Lord, why do you have me doing this? And I am a helper. The definition of minister, that is what I am. I am a server. You know, I'm a helper. I'm a helpmate. You know, I am a servant. That's what I do. That's what makes me happy. That's what makes me thrive, is helping other people. If I can help someone else, especially if I can help someone not to make the mistakes that I made, because baby, I made some mistakes. Okay, I made some mistakes and I'm proud of them, because I learned a lot. It's a lot of things that you only learn if you go through. And there's some things that you could watch somebody else go through. You ain't got to go through it. And those are the things that I'm trying to help you with, is the things that you don't have to go through that. You don't have to go through what I went through. Let me show you the easy route. Let me show you how to get around that. Let me show you what I wish somebody would have told me, but I learned the hard way. So that's one of the things. So everybody's not a hater, but you just got to know what's for you. You got to know what's for you. And I've done a lot, and I'm still very anxious and excited to see what God has in store for me. Like, Lord, what next? Because I'm telling you, what I saw, what's my life, the way that it is now, I never imagined that. I never, ever, ever imagined that. Okay? I never imagined that. And I can tell you some things that I've done recently. Being invited, back and forth to the White House. I never imagined that. Being asked to be on the cabinet, even though I declined, I never imagined that. I just never imagined that. And there'll be people, and there's probably still are people, of course, that don't think that I'm qualified to be where I'm at. Like, why is this happening for her? Like, who is she? Why is she so special? It doesn't matter what people think. It only matters that God says I'm qualified. God says I'm qualified. And that's why your spirit of discernment, that's why you're staying humble, and that's why you gotta trust the process. Us as Christians, we always say, you gotta have the faith of a mustard seed. A mustard seed is really small, okay? Really small. But how many of us really have that faith? How many of us really have that faith? How many of us really have that faith? Because if you had just that little bitty faith, it happens. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. And that's another lie for another time. And that's manifesting things. That's that faith. That's that manifestation. That when you want it, when you know you want it, and when you know that it's for you, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But you got to keep those right people around you, right? You got to keep those right people around you. And you know who's right for you and who's not. You know who it is. Sometimes you want to be in the in crowd. You want to be in the in crowd, Yeah, somebody said the law of attraction. Yes, the law of attraction. Absolutely. Sometimes you want to be in that in crowd so bad, right? That you do things and you say things and you hang with people that your spirit don't resonate with. And you know you shouldn't. You know you shouldn't. You know you shouldn't be here. You know you shouldn't be doing this. You know this is not what God has for you. You can feel it. You can feel it. But you do it anyway. You gotta stop. Gotta stop. Gotta stop that people pleaser. I used to be a people pleaser. Okay? I didn't want to offend anybody. Yes, I didn't want to offend anybody. I wanted to be cool with everybody. I wanted, everybody to like me. Right? I did. And guess what? If they ain't gonna like you, they ain't gonna like you anyway. It ain't nothing you can do. All you're doing is bringing anxiety on yourself and anxiety and depression on yourself, because now you feeling some kind of way. And don't say you're not going to feel some kind of way, because you are. You are. You are. When you're sitting in a room and you're the odd man out, you do feel some kind of way. You're human. So even if you say, well, I don't care, you do. You care. You care. Because if you didn't care, you get up and leave. And it's okay to care, because we're human. We're human. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that in crowd. Again, like I said at the beginning of the live, now I look and see what everybody else is doing, and I do the opposite. I do the opposite, because the opposite is what needs to be done. That's what's going to need to be done. That's what's going to need to be done. I'm trying to read these comments too, y'all. I'm sorry. That's why I'm stuttering a little bit. Oh God, y'all have any questions for me? Because I know it's like I'm all over the place, because I have so much stuff that I want to tell y'all. I have so many things that I want to say. Oh my God, I did this, and this is how you do this, and this is how you do that, but don't do this, and this is who you should talk to with this, and so much stuff, from running for election, what I did, what I didn't do, what I wish I had done. Same thing with the military. What I did, what I didn't do, what I wish I had done. A little bit about me. I decided that when I retired, that I was going to go to school. Right? And on top of my retirement and all that, school was going to be an additional source of income for me. So I was like, well, I'll wait. I won't get my master's degree. I'll wait. And that way I can go to school for 2 to 3 years. Baby, I wish I would have went to school, because now on top of juggling everything that I'm juggling, I'm still in school. But I didn't know. So that goes back to trusting the process. I should have just went on and did what God told me to do. But I was looking at what I wanted to do. I was looking at what I wanted to do and what I thought worked for me. Because see, Tangie had her own plan. That's that little arrogance where you got your own plan. You and now it ain't the worst situation, but it could have been a whole lot better. Yes. So I have a question, and the question was, how do I keep myself humble through this journey? You know what? How I keep myself humble through this journey is I keep a lot of my day ones around me. The ones who I know love me. And they're not going to let me get out of hand. They are not going to let me get out of hand whatsoever, because they're going to remind me, Tangie. And, when I go home, I'm just me. No, I'm not treated special. I'm not anything. And a lot of things that I do, I'm still around the same people. There's nobody that really can call me and I don't answer. I don't think that I'm too good for people. I don't think that, and never think that, because guess what? Those same people, you may see again. I was looking at an Instagram live, and I can't think of the lady's name, but she was a celebrity. She was maybe a B-list celebrity. And her husband or son or somebody happened, and she was homeless during this coronavirus thing. And they was telling her to ask for money. And she was like, well, I can't ask for money because people are going to look at you. Daggone right, they're going to look at you like that, because you got to stay humble. You got to stay humble and always know that no matter what's going on or no matter what you see other people doing, it could always be you. It could always be you. And I pray to God and that I always be this way. That is a prayer for me. That's a daily prayer for me. And no matter what I do, no matter what I have, no matter how many millions I have, that I pray to God that I always stay humble. That I'll never, ever, ever forget where I came from. Which there's a saying that say, when you forget your history, you're destined to repeat it. And so when you remember where you came from, and you don't want to go back there, then you'll remember. You'll remember, because once you forget it, you'll go back. Oh, my day one person. Yeah. So. Some of my day one people, one of my day one people is my husband. We were together as privates. And I have some girlfriends that we were together as privates. We were 18 years old. That we didn't have anything together. We didn't have anything. We grew up together. Some of my day one people are people who were a little bit older than me, but they knew me as a young child. And they watched me grow up. They watched me grow up. They've always wanted the best for me. They may have chastised me here and there, but ultimately they always wanted the best for me. There was no malice in their hearts when it came to me. They just always wanted it. Some of my day ones, I'll say I maybe met 5 years ago, but they were the ones that I met. They've never, ever, ever changed on me. And you know what? They've never, ever, ever, ever given me a reason to question their loyalty. Because that's the thing. That's the thing. If I love you, I'm never going to give you a reason to question me. Ever. Ever. If something happens and it looks a little bit shaky, I'm going to go to you. And I'm going to say, you know what? What's her name? I'm going to say, Shasta, you know what? Hey. Call me. They'll say, it looked like XYZ, but this is what's going on. Like, I'm never going to sit here and be like, I ain't got to tell her nothing. I do got to tell you something. If you're my day one, if you're my best friend, yeah, you got to explain yourself to some people. You do. So that's what I feel like a day one is. That day one's got your back. And there's some people that you've known for a long time, and as you excel, they're not going to be your day ones anymore. They're just not. And there's nothing you can do about it. Trust me. I tried to hold on to them for dear life. I tried my best to hold on to them. And whatever, I don't know what I did. And, to say, all I did was walk in my destiny and be great. And some kind of way that pissed you off. I don't know what happened. And even when I tried to talk, they didn't want to hear it. So some people who you think may be your day one, they're not going to be your day one. And there's going to be people that, that's my definition. That, in a nutshell, that person that comes around, stays around, and never gives you a reason to question their loyalty, or never give you a reason to question their true intentions for you. And they may not always agree with you either, but they want the best for you. Oh, Crystal, that was a good one. Because I told you my husband told me not to do it. I told you my mom said, that was a big one. I'm really close with my mom, right? So that's where prayer comes in. Because let me tell you, if I did not have a relationship with God, I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it. I would have listened to my mom. I would have listened to my husband. I would have listened to friends. I had this one lieutenant colonel that, of course, I highly respected. That, when I was in the military, that basically begged me not to do it. Okay? Oh, no, this is going to get ugly and da-da-da, you don't need this. And if I did not have the relationship that I had with God, I wouldn't have done it. I would not have. Because if I didn't have the relationship that I had with God, I would have had to depend on man. And when I say man, I mean mortal human beings for guidance. I would have had to depend on them. I would have had to depend on my mom. I would have had to depend on my husband. I would have had to depend on my mentors. And they meant well, but they were wrong. They were wrong. So, you know, you got to have that relationship. That's why I say that's that prayer right there, y'all. If that prayer for discernment, you got to know. You know, what's that? Who sing that? Hank, who sing that song? You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Oh, yeah. That discernment will tell you when to hold them and when to fold them. And when somebody tells you something, you'll know. Like the two ladies, when they kept encouraging me, that I can do it, and I was like, they don't even know me. That resonated with my spirit. What my family and what my friends were telling me, that didn't resonate with my spirit, even though I didn't think I was qualified either. I didn't. But it still didn't resonate with my spirit because the God in me was saying you are qualified, because I said that you're qualified. You're qualified. And so what these ladies were saying was resonating. And I said, what do I got to lose? What do I have to lose? I have nothing to lose for giving it a shot. If nothing else, I tried it. You're going to always lose every battle that you don't try. Every battle that you don't fight, you're going to lose it. Okay? You're going to lose every one that you don't fight. If I do it, if I run and I lose, what did I lose? What did I lose? I lost nothing. I'm still retired. I still got Women Elevated. Matter of fact, I would have been living in Hawaii. So what did I have to lose? Matter of fact, I'm in Honolulu right now. So aloha. I'm still in Honolulu, and it is 6 o'clock where y'all at. It's 1:39 here, so I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon. But it's 1 p.m. in the afternoon here where I'm at. So what did I have to lose? It was some stuff. It was some times that I had to depend on God. And I know it sounds so cliche. Oh my God. I know it sounds cliche when you say just pray, just trust the process. But when you get it down to a science, and it's a science to it, okay? It is. It's a science to prayer. It's a science to manifestation. It's a science, to the faith and manifesting things in your life. It's a science to that. And when you get it down, when you really get it down, you really get your relationship with God. That's why sometimes I have to steal away. I'm a people person. I am an extrovert in every sense of the word. But every now and then, I'll go into myself. I'll lock myself in a house for 3 or 4 days and just play worship music and just listen to what God say, especially when things are getting too crazy around me. I was like, okay, I got to listen to what God's saying because it's too noisy. It's too noisy. This world is too noisy. I got people pulling me this way. I got people pulling me that way. I just need to, and you got to do that. You got to do that. You got to steal away. And I feel bad for people who can't steal away because you have to steal away. I know Pastor Wanda Crowder is up here, and I was telling her about some of the things that I went through when I was running and how God really came through for that too. How I asked God that he had to show me some things. That God had to show me some things. Because sometimes I just don't know. But when I don't know, I don't know. Becoming Tangi. And the fact that, let me see that. I'm trying to listen to what she's saying. Sorry, y'all. Oh, Crystal, that was hard for me. Crystal. Confession. In my first year, because like I said, I hadn't been retired a whole full year yet with the county commission thing. And after a year of Women Elevated, those who know Women Elevated know it took off like a wildfire. It really got out of control. And when I say overwhelmed, I was overwhelmed. Everybody wants a successful nonprofit. I get it. You want a successful business, period. But I was overwhelmed. Everything was going great. My boutique was going great. The nonprofit was going great. The county commission was going. My daughter was, at the time, she was a freshman at Clark Atlanta. She'll be a junior this coming up year. Everything was going great to the outside world, but I was being pulled in so many different directions that I literally felt as if I was going to have a nervous breakdown. Trying to please everybody, trying to be there for people, right? People who were not trying to be there for people, okay? Literally. And it was time that I said, you know what, I'm going to have to go. Like, I'm going to have to drop everything. When I say I contemplated dropping everything, I contemplated dropping everything. But God showed me. It was some things that I needed. Little things. They weren't there. It's things that I had. They weren't there. So I was like, so people thought I was being mean when I said no, because I'm literally about to have a nervous breakdown trying to support everybody else. But when I'm having, when I'm having things, when I'm having functions, I'm having organizations, nobody goes out of their way to do it. I mean, I'm hopping on planes trying to support people. You hear me? It's not just, and it'll be, oh, I forgot. And what I do know is that you don't forget things that you prepared for. Okay? If you prepare, so you were never going to do it anyway. Because if you prepared for it, you was going to do it. An example. BSW has a gala. If they say, well, you can buy tickets in advance and you can buy tickets at the door. If I'm going to support, I'm going to buy a ticket in advance. I'm not going to wait to go to the door. I'm going to already have my dress. I'm already going to have my hair done, nail, whatever I have to do to prepare, right? So the night of, I'm not going to come to you with an excuse that I fell asleep, because I'm not falling asleep after getting my makeup and my hair done. That's an excuse. Okay, I'm not going to say that's an excuse. And that's okay. That is okay. I'm not complaining about that. What I'm saying is that helped me put things in priority. And sometimes you don't know, because if you're like me, you want to help everybody. You know, I try to water all of my relationships. I do. And it does get tiring. I try to water all of my relationships, where if I want to reach out to you, I want to be here for you, I want to say, hey girl, I ain't talked to you in a long time, how you doing? I want to cultivate and water all of them. I do. And that's something that I'm still learning, honestly. I'm still learning, because if you're there for me, I want to be there for you. So I'm still learning how to do that. Exactly. You don't forget what you prepared for. So if you forgot it, you didn't prepare for it. You never prepared for it. You know, think about it. If you were going to go on a cruise, if you're preparing to go on a cruise, are you going to oversleep the night before? Are you going to oversleep the night before and not get on that boat? No, you're not, because you prepared for it. So if I ask you to come and I'm going to speak on this live tonight, and I said, hey, can you come and support? Just listen to the live. Can you come and support? I'm going to be on this platform. And you come and you tell me, oh, I forgot, girl, I overslept. Then you wasn't going to do it. You didn't oversleep when it was time to go to work. You know, you didn't oversleep when it was time to go get your hair done. You didn't. You don't forget what you prepared for. So, and that's something that I've learned, because those are excuses that I've heard. And I just say, wow. Because, and my thing is, that's my word. If people will tell you, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And my husband gets mad at me about that, because he said, Tangie, you do overextend yourself. Because sometimes I'll say I'm going to do something, and then later on I think, man, why did I say I was going to do that? I can't do this. Oh, I shouldn't do this. But if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I may not do it again, especially if I didn't want to do it. But if I tell you, because all I have is my word. I have nothing else. If you can't trust my simple word, then how can I ask you to support me in big things if I can't even keep my simple word to you? So if I say I'm going to do it, and even as a county commissioner, there's some people that I'll tell I can't do that. No, I'm not going to do that. And I'll tell you why I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. And then if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And that's for me. That's my integrity. And a lot of people don't agree with me, and that's fine, because we don't have to agree. We only have to be respectful of each other. That's all we have. That's all we have to do. We have to be respectful of each other. We don't have to always agree. Just be respectful. And know that our missions are different. I love Crystal. I'm sure Crystal loves me, but our missions are different. And that's okay. That's okay. She'll probably help where she can. I'll help where I can. But I can't expect her to stop what she's doing to support my mission, because our missions are different. Okay? So that's what I what would you tell you? Oh, what would I tell my younger self? What would I tell young Tangie? First of all, I would tell her to pay herself first, always. Take care of herself first, before anybody. Husband, family, kids. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't. That's why you have so many mothers and wives walking around depressed and anxious. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of you. All right? You take care of you, then you take care of your family. And then everybody else comes in down that line. I would tell that, because it's been times that I taken care of other people, and it led me in a place of a deep depression. And it's a lot of times that I was there, and nobody knew it. Nobody knew it. And I remember talking to a counselor, and I said, I'm going through this, and nobody cares. Nobody cares about me. And she said, Tangie, but nobody knows either. Nobody knows, because you never stopped. Like, you're going through it. I always say, once I got my doctorate in psychology, I was going to coin this phrase, functional depression. Functional depression, because I would be in my feelings, and if somebody called me, I pick up the phone. Hey, how you doing? This is Tangie. Yes, of course I can do that. And then, no, I wasn't. And I wasn't taking care of myself. So I would say take care of myself. I would say, but everything else I did. I thank God. I actually did what I wanted to do. I actually did what people told me not to do. I was told not to join the Army. My mom did not want me to join the Army. My family did not want me to join the Army. Matter of fact, they said I wouldn't even make it past basic training. And look at me, 21 years later. They said I wasn't going to make it. They like, you ain't gonna make it. You're too prissy. You're this, you're that, yeah. So almost everything I've done, it's been against the grain. It's not been horrible. I mean, it's nothing illegal. It's nothing immoral. It's just been against the grain. I've had people, and I've manifest things in my life. I had people say, Tangie, don't do that. Tangie, don't say that. Tangie, you have to do this. Yeah, no, I don't have to do anything but be Tangie. That's what I have to do. And respect people. And be nice. Okay, and be nice. Just be nice, Be nice and be respectful. I guarantee you, if you're nice to people, 9 times out of 10, they're going to help you out. One last thing before I go. For a while in Miami, I was a recruiter. I was an Army recruiter. And I recruited doctors in Miami. And I would tell people, what is the thing, not doctors per se, but as a young person, if their family is not in the military, what makes a young recruit join the Air Force, the Army, the Marine, the Navy, Coast Guard? What makes that young recruit join that service? Okay? The person, the recruiter, the person. Because if you're coming in as an E1, you're going to get paid the same, whether you're in the Army, the Air Force, the Navy. We're all on the same ranking, the pay scale. So if it's money, it's all the same. It's you. It's you. If you are a nice person, 9 times out of 10, people are going to help you. Yeah, you're going to have haters, and you're going to have those anyway. So I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about in general. People are going to say, I want to help her, or I want to help him, or whatever, because they're a nice person. And I want to see them win. And I like to think that majority of people want to see you win. A majority of people want to see you. Even if they don't care one way or the other, they're not out to hurt you. So that's something that people just need to know. But yeah, be nice, be respectful. It goes a long way. Just be nice. Just be nice. You don't have to always agree. Stay true to yourself, and you'll be respected. But what's not respected is if I see you wishy-washy with that person, and then you wishy-washy, then you talk about that person, and then I'm seeing you, and then you hanging with that person, you talk about that. Nah. Because my little spidey sense is going up. Like, this is their MO. This is what they do. They spread everybody's tea. This is what they do. They pour tea everywhere they go. So don't be that person. Don't be that person. Even if you know it, you don't have to always say it. It's okay. You don't have to always know. You don't have to always let people know that you know everybody's business. You don't. It's okay. What's understood doesn't have to be said anyway. So you don't have to be that person. You don't have to be that person. Just be that person that's about your business, that's always nice, that's always sweet. That's especially as women. Especially as women. Be nice. It's okay to be a woman. Be nice. Be sweet. Be gentle. It's okay. And I know it's a lot of us, came from single parents. So we, come from that era where we feel like we have to do everything and mama has to do everything, and be nice. Okay, that's all I got. If anybody got anything for me, did I go over my time, Crystal? I did. It's like almost an hour, and I'm sorry, but that's all I have. I will share it. Right, Crystal. Right, that their personal business. Like, you don't. People who I'm nice to everybody, but if you're always telling me people personal business, it's like, yeah, I don't know. So thank you all for having me, and I hope that I said something that resonated in your spirit. I really do. I hope and I pray that I said something that resonated in your spirit, and something that you can take away. Like I said, take what you need, put it in your toolbox for later. If you don't need it, then you don't need it. And if you need me, you can find me. I have a public page, Tangi C. Smith. I have a public page. You're welcome to follow me. And if you need anything, I have a boutique, right? So I have that online and mobile. So if you see me pulling around Clarksville, that's me. Montgomery County Commissioner, District 8. District 8 consists of, it borders Oak Grove, comes down Fort Campbell Boulevard, down Town Road, and Women Elevated, transition home in Tennessee. And at the end of June, we're supposed to close at the end of May, but I'm not in Clarksville. So at the end of June, we're going to close on a little under 8 acres of land to start our tiny house phase. Start hopefully building our tiny houses for transition homes. And that's all I got. Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.